Even if you're not a geek, it's been a pretty exciting week from a technology perspective. We've seen two technology giants in Samsung and Apple virtually go head-to-head in unveiling a slew of new products. Apple's one was the one that got global attention, however, when they launched another one of these, and then they launched something not unlike this one, perhaps just a little bit smaller. This is Tonight. I'm Bruce Whitfield. Tonight I'm talking all things technology with Adam Oxford, who's the editor-in-chief of htxt Africa. That belongs to you, but that's not an Apple device, is it? That's something else.
It's not. This is quite an old and battered Google one that's even got a broken screen. So I'm sort of very old-fashioned when it comes to technology.
You're such a Luddite when it comes to technology.
I know. I'm not an upgrader is the problem. I get something, I like it, and I hold on to it forever.
So why didn't you get a Samsung device? Why did you go for the Google device? I mean, these things are, the minuscule changes, but differences between them. And guys like you who know the intricacies of these devices have your favourites.
Well, I think where Google really led the market with devices like this was Google was pushing down prices. This when this came out in 2012 was about half the price of any other tablet out there for the same amount of performance and arguably a better screen and a lot of other statistics with which we judge these devices. So that was quite groundbreaking in its own way, and it's obviously completely different to what Apple announced last night, for example.
No, what was Apple announced this week? When we look at what they've done with the iPhone 6, which is like that, just slightly bigger and thinner and lighter and faster and better, and I can't wait. What exactly have they unveiled in terms of the iPhone 6? And then a device not unlike the one you've got from Google, the phablet, they call it, the phone and the tablet. That's blended, right, yeah. Which is a bit smaller than that, but a bit bigger than this.
And interestingly, just a few weeks ago, we had a report out from I think it was HIS, who said that the phablet is dead. Long live the small screen tablet that can make phone calls. So maybe Apple's a little bit behind the curve there. I don't know. But that's exactly what they announced last night. One was the new version of the iPhone 6, which is slightly bigger than the current iPhone 5. I think it goes from a 4-inch screen to a 4.7-inch screen.
Which in cell phone technology is actually quite important. I mean, it's an extra centimetre, and then you take off some of the wasted space on here as well, and you get a little bit more real estate, don't you?
Exactly, and we're seeing a lot of manufacturers do that now. I mean, you mentioned Samsung earlier. Their Note 4, which their Galaxy Ultra, I think it's called, or Alpha, that they launched a couple of weeks ago. I can't keep up. That's the problem. Yes. But it's got a wraparound screen, so it's got a little mini screen running down the side, so you can see your text messages and your stock tickers and all that kind of thing without turning the phone on at all. And I think that's part of the problem Apple's got, actually, is there are so many high-quality devices out there now. I personally think it's going to be quite hard for them to differentiate themselves by price the way that they have done historically.
But this is what's going to be interesting, is because they're becoming also, you're either tied into an Apple ecosystem or you're tied into an Android ecosystem. Android seems to be winning the battle in terms of volume anyway.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Android is about 80% of smartphones around the world. I mean, Apple is hugely strong in its home market in the US, for example. But I mean, if you look at South Africa, I mean, we don't have exact figures, but we usually hear figures quoted of around about 300,000 devices activated on networks, and that includes phones and tablets, which is a tiny amount of the number of smartphones out there, really.
It's absolutely minuscule. Are Apple ahead of the revolution? With the revolution, behind the revolution? Because Samsung, in many respects, seems to be ahead, and it's all similar components.
And I think feature-wise, Apple's been playing catch-up to Google for quite a long time. I think
to Google or to Samsung?
To Google and the Android operating system, which Samsung uses. So that's what underpins all of the features on a Samsung phone. And you've had this sort of war of attrition going on for the last few years, where somebody adds flat icons and somebody else adds pop-up notifications and a different way to access your email when it pops up and things like that. And I think what's happened now is we're at the place where there's not a lot of difference between the two, if we're honest.
We're waiting for the next revolution, whatever that revolution will be. We couldn't have envisaged the tablet before Steve Jobs brought it to us, and it has changed the way in which smartphones work, with technology works, and the way in which many people compute nowadays. So those are some of the devices, but we've also seen Times Media coming into South Africa recently. We talk about all things technology, of course, and they brought effectively a version of Netflix to South Africa. This is exciting. This is downloading video on demand.
This is really exciting because it's not just downloading video on demand, which is what I suspected it would be, but they are offering subscriptions. So they've gone for the full-on Netflix model, where for I think it's 149 rand a month, you have access to the majority of content they keep in their library. Now, I use Netflix at home. I think it's an amazing service. I'm a complete convert. We disconnected our DSTV about 3 months ago because everything we need to watch is on there. And I love consuming shows and TV shows in vast quantities, getting through an entire season in one night sort of thing.
I would hate for anybody to discontinue their DSTV, of course, because they couldn't watch us. But as a support service, of course, we put the show. Can we put the show on Netflix?
But the truth is, we can watch you. I mean, you guys, you put your shows up on YouTube now. You know, I watch CNBC Africa on YouTube and clips of shows far more than I would tune into an entire show.
Because you get to choose what you want to watch, and that's the future, isn't it?
And that is the future. I think that's where that's where people will share those clips because they're specific to what they're interested in, and we all know attention spans are very short online.
So what was that?
So a 3 minute clip of a show is probably going to be more relevant to more audience than the entire 30 minutes.
I can't wait to see Leo Tolstoy's War and Peace in 3 minutes. That one I would watch. But what exactly has Times Media launched then, if it's not just Netflix?
So what they've launched is a web browser application which you can either use to rent new movies for, I think it's between sort of 10-20 rand a pop.
So you're saving the fuel money going to the shop and back.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're not going to the DVD store anymore to pick them up.
Bye-bye DVD stores. I mean, the last one standing. This has got to be the death.
Yeah, and this is what we've seen in the rest of the world already. You know, and I think we are playing catch up here quite a lot in that sense. But I think the biggest challenge they've got with what they've launched is it's a web browser app only. So you log in, you have to have Microsoft Silverlight installed on there. So it's got to be a Windows PC. So you're automatically cutting out a lot of browsers. Tablets won't be able to watch it in that sense. Macs at the moment. Early days, they will add these features as time goes on, obviously.
But does the family now gather around a computer to watch television?
Well, for example, so the way we watch it at home is we watch it through the kids' Xbox. The kids' Xbox has a Netflix app. We turn the Xbox on, we click Netflix instead of a game, and we've got access to pretty much any TV show you can name outside of HBO's programming.
Now, people ask me questions about investing and say, where is the one resource? Where is the one book I can read and learn everything there is to about investing in a way that I'll understand it? In the same way, I mean, you're talking complete Greek, always a geek, in terms of, we just go through Xbox, it's got, you've lost me completely in terms of the tech. You guys understand how it works. Is there the idiot's guide to how to get Netflix onto my TV so I don't have to watch it on a phablet one day?
Oh, absolutely, and I would do a gratuitous self-plug because we have written that guide, but I won't because I'm far too.
So where is your guide?
Sorry?
Where is your guide?
It's on our website. I mean, and any website, any technology website tends to carry these kinds of articles. But I think if I was an investor looking for a company to invest in, I'd be looking at the companies that are going for mobile. I mean, that is where it's all going. The problem for me with the Times service, which is called Vidi, by the way, where it is at the moment is that it is a desktop application, and that means you've got to have a laptop, you've got to have ADSL. We know telecom.
Because it's about bandwidth, isn't it? Because these movies are big and fat, and you've got to be squeezed down a pipe down into your home, where you then release them onto whatever screen you're going to be watching.
And I mean, I was down at the South African Telecommunications and Networking Conference with Telkom a couple of weeks ago, and they gave us some real insight into what the market size is for fixed line broadband, which you need for streaming for streaming video rather. At the moment, you're talking about 1.9 million households by 2020. It's probably only going to be double that. There are 15 million households in South Africa. It's a tiny portion of the audience. I mean, where the big money is going to be on this is if somebody can make that work on your phone.
How big a pipe do I need for Vidi?
I don't know Vidi specifically.
Do I need 10 megs?
I think 10 megs would be comfortable.
10 megs only delivers 7 megs, though, because depending how far you are away from the telecom exchange, the pipe sort of gets smaller and smaller, like a trumpet.
If I remember correctly, to stream HD video, You need about 2 megs.
Okay.
But as with all of these things, when they say you need 2 megs, what you
Get
actually
double.
need is quite a lot of overhead on that, because that's 2 megs constant.
But this is, how much of a threat is this move now by Times Media, which is the old-fashioned media company where Naspers has been the superhero and has had DSTV and has really got a point of presence in most homes. It's going to take quite a lot of rethink by South African consumers to dump DSTV in favour of a subscription service.
It
Or
will
not?
take a bit of time, I think, but it will happen. I mean, I absolutely think that will happen. That's what we've seen everywhere else in the world. You know, in the US, the idea that Blockbuster would have gone bust and be gone 10 years ago, and have been beaten by a company that started off posting DVDs to you on a subscription, Netflix, would have been ridiculous. You'd have been laughed out of the place. One of the things, funny enough, I was chatting to Justin Katsir from Go Metro yesterday, and he was telling me that, you know, from his point of view as a software entrepreneur in South Africa, what amazes him is that there aren't more disruptive ideas like this coming through, because every market in South Africa is ready for disruption
But
now.
we've got monopolies in place. I mean, they're licensed monopolies. There's nothing untoward about it. They've just cemented their position so strongly. And we've had competitors come to market against DSTV. They haven't worked because they haven't had access to great programming. What we have now, through the back door almost, is access to whatever programming you want.
And indeed, we've heard many stories of how companies like Netflix, who stream overseas, have tried to enter South Africa or have been interested in entering South Africa, but the licensing deals that people have here are so tightly wound up that they can't. So the fact that this is a local competitor, I think, is actually quite significant, because everybody was expecting essentially Netflix to come, and they're not here.
But the big boon is going to be when I can sit and I can watch Saving Private Ryan on my, hopefully on something a little bit bigger than that, because it's quite spectacular. But the future of movies, terrifyingly, is in my hand.
Exactly, and I think, and also on your TV, and also on your laptop, and also on your tablets. It's everywhere. The future of movies is being able to sit on a Ria Vaya bus and watch the start of Saving Private Ryan, walk into your house, flick it onto your TV screen, and carry on from where you left off. And that's what these services bring.
As long as it remembers where I left off, we'll be absolutely fine. Adam Oxford is Editor-in-Chief of htxt Africa. Thank you for coming. Nice to see you. Thank you for updating us on what's been a fascinating week from the world of technology, with Samsung going mad and issuing devices, and Apple going bonkers, and of course our own Times Media coming to the party as well, with a video on demand service and more. Thanks for watching. There'll be more tonight, tomorrow. Goodbye. Good night.